On the 17th of January 1929, American cartoonist Elzie Chrysler Cigar introduced the world to his latest and greatest comic strip creation, the spinach-slurping sailor man, Popeye. You'd be forgiven for assuming that the Popeye character might have served as the inspiration behind a popular and similarly named fried chicken joint, but the honor of having a restaurant to carry forward their namesake would actually go to a different character in the Popeye cinematic universe. Born to Russian immigrants in 1907, Edward Vale Goldberg was said to have loved hamburgers so much that he was supposedly nicknamed for J. Wellington Wimpy, Popeye's burger-obsessed pal who would often ask for a hamburger today with the promise to pay for it when he saw you next Tuesday. With the dream of a high-quality 10-cent hamburger on Edward's mind, on September 12, 1934, Wimpy Grills opened to the public in Bloomington, Indiana. When Edward eventually died of a heart attack in 1977, age 70, all 7 remaining US Wimpy locations closed that same year. But despite not giving a, quote, bleep bleep what happened to his business after his death, Edward's hamburger legacy still lives on today, across the pond. This week on What's All This Then? Wimpy.
Yay.
Yeah, you got that context, Let's get into it.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the BBC? What's all this then?
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of What's All This Then? It's a podcast about the UK with new episodes every Monday and bonus episodes every Thursday. And today on the show, I did my intro already. I done a Doughboys, didn't I?
You've done a Doughboys.
I'm Charlotte McDonald, and I'm joined as always by my wonderful co-host. She's not Wimpy, and for her, I'm Simpy. It's Libby Watson.
Ooh,
How'd
Charlotte.
you like that?
I didn't know that. That's really nice.
I wouldn't do a podcast with someone I'm not attracted to. Of course, Libby. Come on. Wasted my bloody time, isn't it?
So true. Yes, so true. I am sort of wondering, Nick, whether you have a kind of internal count of how many other podcasts you've been on that have done the little Doughboys.
I would love to hear
parody.
It's happened a few times. I always love it. It's a nice little tribute. This one was expertly delivered. I mean,
Thank
just
you.
like a really well crafted a simulacrum.
I hate doing the intros for the podcast now. Like I'm committed to doing it forever. But there's always the part of me that is like, oh man, I've got to like come up with something now. And it's always a relief when I do come up with something. But like delivering that was, I was like, I'm going to pre-record this and play it for you both because it's going to be too hard for me to do it live. And it was so hard to like nail it. I think I did that for like 10 minutes. So I have a lot of respect for you.
It was
just
great.
now, newfound respect. Had none before,
Right.
but now Nick,
Right.
congratulations on all the hard work you do just on the intros.
Thank you. Yeah, you'll lose all that respect by the end of this episode. So we're back to square one.
Charlotte, I think you should let me do an intro one week.
Oh, but here's the thing: is I sort of like that I hate it, and that I feel like I need to do it every week. You know,
Yes.
There is like there's two things you need to have with your co-host. One Charlotte already alluded to, which is unspoken sexual tension.
Yeah.
The other is you have to resent your co-host a little bit because you feel like you're doing more work.
Yep.
So I think that's
Yep.
that's important to maintain.
Right, and specifically, you know, parts of the show that you do, you have to feel like, oh, it's so bullshit that I do this part of the show when,
Right.
you know, Libby just does, and we won't specify what kinds of things I do because we all know exactly what it is that I do for the show.
do you? Hold on a second. What does Libby do for the podcast? No, I think we're pretty good at like swapping between who's doing the British thought, who's doing the game.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like we do a pretty equal amount of research as well. But I do the intros, which means I ultimately do more. And so that's the
Right.
situation.
That's right.
Yeah, Libby has to pay us. That's an important step that
Well,
I don't
here's
have to
the
worry
thing.
about.
Yeah, I get the money man's money. I don't know what that means.
You get the money man's money.
You got the Patreon deposit linked to your account, and then you got to deal with it, paying everyone
Yes.
else out. Yeah,
Mhm.
Right. So what
Yeah.
are they going to do about it? You know.
it's true.
You could be cutting some off the top. I don't know. I mean, right
just
now,
send them
Libby, I trust you.
Yeah, I just send them a spreadsheet. They don't know.
Yeah.
It could be completely fucking made up. Oh, sorry, looks like we only made 70 quid this month.
I have two feelings on this. I think if you're one of the hosts and you're stealing from the other host, I'm not a fan of that. But if you're like a producer and you're managing the finances and you skim a little bit, it's like, come on.
Yeah, of course.
You're the worker.
Yeah.
You know, take a little taste.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I completely agree with that. I will be keeping the bank account in my name.
Okay. All right. I'm fine with this for now. And I'm trying to come up with new podcast ideas every day as well. But nothing's come to me yet. So for the moment, I'm committed. I'm committed to this. You've already heard him, but I'm going to introduce you anyway. He's a writer, comedian, co-host of the podcast Get Played and of Doughboys. Welcome back to the pod. The Burger Boy himself, which is relevant because of today's topic, Nick Tiger Wiger. How you doing?
Wow. Hey, buddy. Thanks so much for having me. Back by popular demand, my demand to Libby that you have me back on the podcast. So thank you for accommodating that.
Oh,
Of
Nick.
course.
You know, you have to know that you're just one of the guests that we are embarrassed to ask on the show because
Please, never.
Because you're nice and funny. I had this exchange with Hayes Davenport, where I was asking him whether he thinks whether he thought it was too soon for me to ask PFT on the show. And he said, well, you haven't asked me on the show, but that's fine. And I was like, yeah, but, you know, I mean, here's the thing with Hayes is he has if you are going to cultivate a public reputation for being incredibly mean, then something's going to happen, you know?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. That's his brand, is this kind of ornery sort of like. But I think like there is a feeling of, I think this happens with a lot of. This happens to me too. We haven't had PFT on Doughboys for a while, and this is sheer coincidence. We were talking about this over the weekend. We got to have PFT back, but it's like well, that person is very busy, and I feel bad asking them. Meanwhile, from their perspective, they're just like, why have I been blacklisted? You know?
Yes, blacklisted by your own generosity and kindness. Yeah,
right.
It's a tricky thing. I mean, look, booking the guests is a tough thing to do, not in terms of like it actually being, you know, difficult, but just the sort of psychic damage of sending the, you know, often the Instagram DM or the email to say, hello, can you come and do our podcast? I'm really sorry.
I've started saying I would like to invite you now in the DMs.
Oh,
that feels
I
like a nice
that.
way to be like, it's open, you know, it's formal, but if you can't make it, that's okay. As opposed to, because it is really difficult. Like it's hard to tell people you don't know that you are a podcaster, but I do think the hardest part of podcasting is having to tell people, hey, would you like to give up a couple hours of your time to have a conversation? Do you think that's worth it? I don't like it. It's no fun. So thank you, Nick, for being the one to ask.
Please, I mean, it's my pleasure. I'm a big fan of the pod. Y'all are so entertaining. I'm on the Patreon. I'm in the private citizen Andrew Mountbatten Windsor tier, so I get all those benefits.
Okay, we've been trying to think of a name for a tier. We were thinking, we should really have like $100 tier for just people who just like have too much money and just want to throw it at us. But I mean, there's an option.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the Prince Andrew special, the Tower of London, something like that.
That's fun.
That's good.
Yeah, sucking off King Charles, the sucking off King Charles tier, where you suck off King Charles, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah,
just
right.
throwing it out there.
Well, you get to be his tampon, right? Or no, you get to be
His
King
tampon.
Charles. No, hold on.
Wait.
Nick, do you know
are
about?
familiar with this?
Yeah, do you know about
I
tampon
am very
gate?
familiar with. I am regrettably familiar with that.
Okay.
Just bizarre alien love letter that then Prince Charles wrote to his now I guess now the Queen, right? Camilla the Queen.
Yeah.
England, yes, yeah. Well, worse still than it being a letter is it was a phone conversation that was wiretapped by a journalist.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I didn't realize that. I thought
It's
it was
disgusting.
a letter. That's
Yeah,
awful.
yeah. No, it's really, really nasty. If you watch The Crown on Netflix, they do a full reenactment of it, like a dramatic reenactment, and of Diana reading about it in the newspapers. I mean, it's crazy, but I'm glad they committed to it, you know.
Is that just him awkwardly trying to think of like a way of saying, you know, like I want to be inside you, or does he specifically have some sort of menstruation fetish? Not to kink shame the king.
No.
King shame.
King shame. That's
Not
good.
the king shame.
Yeah,
king
not the king
shame.
shame the king. King shame the kink. No, he doesn't really like. It starts out with like, oh, I wish I was your trousers, which is again like such a fucking stupid thing to say. Even without the tampon thing, saying, "Oh, I wish I was your trousers."
Yes,
is so much less sexy than even the implication of I want to be inside you. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like royalty and CEOs, like basically everyone who would kind of be in Epstein's black book, like really, really elite politicians. They're all just like space aliens. They don't know how to be human beings. It's so weird. It's like the thing, you know, the thing that's happening right now in my world is the McDonald's CEO being unable to take a bite of his own burger.
Yeah.
Like, did you see that? Like, just like the tiniest nibble.
The tiniest little nibble. Yeah, he was demonstrating the arch burger, which
the big
is
arch. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Oh my god, I fucked it.
No, it's
I'm
fine.
never going on Doughboys again. I said arch burger.
The Archburger.
This
That's
is
what
like
we
when
call
I
it over the pond, the Archburger.
This is like when I went on Get Played and I called it the Game Boy Adventure.
Oh, Jesus
It's
Christ.
fine. Everything's fine.
Everything is
Thankfully,
fine, you're right.
Thankfully, podcast fans are not pedantic. So.
Really good. Anyway, he was unable to take. Look, for our stream audience and Go Off Kings fans, he took what I would describe as a peep this out sized bite of the Archburger.
Right.
The big arch. Sorry.
Yeah.
Tiny.
Okay.
Tiny.
Yeah.
Embarrassing.
Just a little, yeah. He clearly didn't like it. It was like Krusty when he spits the burger out immediately after trying it.
Speaking of not wanting to eat things, I did last time we had you on the show, Nick. It's quite a while ago, right at the beginning, right?
Yep.
So we've had time to talk about you on other episodes. We did discuss you a little bit when John Hodgman came on. In particular, we were discussing Marmite and your enjoyment of Marmite. People only usually have a little bit. You seem to quite like it. I was just curious to know, since trying Marmite originally when Libby forced you to eat it, have you had it since? Do you still enjoy it? Where you at?
I have not returned to Marmite, but if it was presented to me, I would dig in. Yeah, I mean, like it's one of those things where I think, I mean, most people, I forget if most people don't like it. If it's like a really specific thing, it's like you know, it just appeals to certain tastes. If you have to have grown up with it, like that weird you know, Swedish salted black licorice that they love. But I don't know, for whatever reason, it just kind of appealed to my palate.
Yeah, I look, I understand it. We talked on the show about the Marmite marketing campaign for many years has been you either love it or you hate it, which I think is a very smart way of making people who feel like they don't hate it think, well, I must love it then, because you know I don't hate it.
Right.
But really, I think there are a lot of people out there, including perhaps Charlotte, who think it's just fine.
Yes, I now have some in my home. And I tried it, and it was very nice, but it's a difficult one to just sort of be like, I'm going to dig into some Marmite on toast now.
Yes.
When I have, like, you know, chips and chocolate bars and stuff that I could be having instead.
Yes, as with many British foods, especially the sort of more traditional ones, it does sort of feel like it's been passed by. You know, now that we've got Oreos and stuff, we don't really need Marmite anymore. It's not really important.
Well, I mean, I think there's also just in toast terms, you're just competing with some, you know, quality butter and salted butter. I mean, on toast is just such a delight. But yeah, Libby, we were talking really recently when you're on Doughboys about British food and specifically beans on toast and how that's quite enjoyable. And I feel like that's like, you know, whatever. It's the most boring take in the world to dismiss all British food out of hand. But the beans on toast in particular is oftentimes a punching bag, is oftentimes a punchline, and I think it's delightful.
Thank you.
I like this.
I completely agree. I had beans on toast for my dinner the other night, and did I feel really bad the next day because I have IBS and beans are really not something I should eat? Yes, but it was good. And then did I have to eat a bunch of ice cream for Doughboys? Yes, but it was fine, and I was really, really brave I think they're fucking good. I think beans on toast fucking good, and I will probably try. Look, I'll promise this now. I will try some cheese on toast with Marmite and some beans and cheese on toast with Marmite.
Oh, that's
Okay,
fun.
yes. I like the cheese. I've been thinking recently that I want to get back into jacket potatoes, maybe,
Oh, yes.
and do some beans
Yes.
on the jacket potatoes, which we do. And I was thinking maybe I used to get through a lot of tuna, like canned tuna. I'd pop that on the jacket potato as well. What's so
Sorry.
funny?
It's not a joke. It's just one of those things that's so funny to think about an American hearing is jacket potato with tuna and cheese, and that's like
And
that's what my
beans.
friend ate every day after school. You know?
And apologize if I'm conflating different records, but I know we talked on Doughboys about
did.
jacket potatoes and tuna. This was another thing we went over, Libby. I have an open mind for it. You know, definitely the beans on jacket potatoes sounds like right in my wheelhouse. But like tuna, like what are we talking about? Do you have like tuna, just tuna in water, just drained? Did you make any sort of tuna salad or anything?
Just
No.
drained. Just out of the
Just
can.
drained.
Drain it out the
Yeah.
can, put it on, mix it around in a fork.
Any
Scoop that sucker in.
butter or sour cream or anything or?
We would do butter, although I
butter,
really
okay.
feel
That
like the
sounds good.
butter would get lost with the beans. So I don't know if I would even bother.
Got it.
I put a little bit of extra butter in my beans. I butter the toast and then I melt a little bit of butter into the beans when I make when I
wow.
make baked beans. And I
That
think
sounds
it is
delightful.
important with baked beans to cook them long enough that they reduce a little bit because there's quite a lot of sauce in baked beans. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I think for a beans on toast form factor, you do want
Yes.
to reduce that sauce a little bit. You did just unlock a memory for me of being in a restaurant in Brooklyn with my mum, and she was always doing Atkins and stuff because she was anorexic, so she was always trying to, for years she was avoiding carbs, and one of the few things that she could eat on the menu at this place was tuna salad, but she didn't know that tuna salad in the United States is not a salad with tuna in it. It's mixed up tuna and mayonnaise and a kind of cat food like
right.
blob
Yeah.
on a plate, which is what she received. And you know what? She was like, this is actually just pretty good to eat on its own. So, it wasn't so bad. But I will say tuna salad is not a term that we had ever used. It was just tuna.
And for me, that was like when just hearing tuna salad was implied. Like
Yep.
the idea of just eating
Right.
tuna not mixed up with mayo and probably some sort of relish, perhaps some chopped celery, perhaps if you want to go nuts, some red onion or some like even apple. You can get some apple chunks you can throw in there.
Oh, no, my dear boy, not at all.
When I said I put tuna on the baked potato and you started laughing at me, Libby, I thought it was because of the way I said tuna. Because I do, because I don't want to say tuna, because that does feel bad.
Tuna.
Although that is probably how I pronounced it back when I still lived
Oh,
in
of
the
course.
UK. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I go back and forth. This is something that careful listeners of the pod will notice that I go back and forth between British and American pronunciations of stuff like that. And
And we love our
sometimes-
careful listeners as well.
Can you
That's our
give me
favorite kind of listener of the show, is the careful listener.
Oh, you got to respect
Yeah,
the careful
absolutely.
listeners. They're paying close
Oh.
attention. Can you give me
Yes.
both tunas
Mhm.
so I can
Yeah.
discern the difference?
Tuna.
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 Oh, okay. There's a little bit more
Yeah.
emphasis on the first syllable.
You know when people
Um,
write Tuesday
Yeah.
to make
Mhm.
fun of British people? That's how we're doing it.
Got it.
Tuesday.
Like I'm starting
tuna.
with a CH, exactly.
Yes, CH. Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Nick, I wanted to ask you because I hear that you've been playing Half Sword.
Oh,
Yes, I put some time into Half Sword. Here's the thing about Half Sword. I'm quite shit at it, as y'all would say.
Yes.
But it is like that's part of the fun, right? It's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's not it's not a Souls game, but it has that sort of like unintentional comedy kind of built into it.
Yeah.
Are y'all playing it?
Oh yes, big time. Charlotte,
wanna-
actually,
do you
have
want to explain
played
it? No, I have not. I played the demo.
Oh,
what I've
Charlotte.
found is that all of my friends, because I haven't been streaming recently, Nick, so
Yeah.
it would be a game that I would just be playing on my own, and it does seem like a really good game to watch someone else play, because it's it's very hard to control. Ryan, can you explain the game, Libby?
Yes, I guess you would call it physics based, because it has what I would describe as some quite punishing physics. You are a medieval peasant, and your task is to essentially slice up other medieval peasants. You're in a sort of combat situation, like almost like a tourney, which we talked about the other day on The Finest. Which is that the Finest that's coming out after this? I guess we'll find out.
Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. Anyway, so you play a peasant and you get stronger and get better weapons, and your job is to beat other peasants in a fight. But it's got almost QWOP-like, Bennett Foddy physics, where it's hard. You have to use very careful movements of the mouse to control your individual arms. And you move around like a berk, and it's really hard to get the hang of it. But when you do, and I will say it is a game with a very steep learning curve. The first, I don't know, like 3 hours of the game is so hard. And then it does kind of unlock a little bit, and you do need to be sort of strategic about. It's definitely a game that, it's a game that benefits from watching other people play it and getting tips from other people, much like Dark Souls. Brendan called it stupid Dark Souls, and I completely agree with that. It is stupid Dark Souls.
Yeah, that's a good characterization. Because you're specifically using your mouse buttons to control either hand.
Yes.
So it's like kind of, I feel like when I'm playing it, I feel like I need like a stylus, like a Nintendo DS, like a Wacom tablet or something, to just really have that precision control. But it's, again, the sloppiness is part of the fun.
Yeah, it's great. I'm proud to announce I've reached Lord rank, and I've beaten the Baron twice. Yes,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
It's fun to watch, because it's extremely violent and stupid. It's fun to kill. It seems like it's fun to kill the other peasants. It's also fun to get killed, which video games don't often do well, because you will get, a big slice through you and you go, oh, that's crazy. And then I also, sort of in the same way that I'm a big fan of like some of the lines of dialogue from the Bloodborne NPCs, there's some good just like British, like calling each other like cuckolds and stuff. Like having that spice like in there is like, that's fun. I like that.
The fact that not only can you press G to call someone a cuckold or hedgeborn, which I still don't really know what that means. I guess it means that you're so low class that you were born in a hedge, like a badger.
Wow.
Not only can you do that, but it is also actually a valuable part of the gameplay to hold your weapon to someone's throat and then press G to call them a cuckold, and then they'll surrender. I mean, that's just so good, isn't it?
That is good. Yeah.
No, the music's great too. It's a great time. Nick, were you about to ask me what my weapon of choice is?
Yes, yeah. What's your loadout?
So I found that in my playthrough, I basically couldn't progress through the early stages without using a scythe. Because you really need the range.
Yes.
Because if you especially when you don't really know how to control your guy, if you let someone get close enough to you that, because you're using an axe or something, you just die. Then I switched to the war staff, which is a long thing with spikes on it.
It's got like it's just like a really long pole with a bunch of spikes on it. And I saw you holding that thing. I was like, okay, that's how you get like, you've reached the point in your progression where they're giving you the easy mode weapon now,
Yes.
It looks like fun.
Right.
It's great.
It's like the kind of thing of, video games and cinema so often has like sword play as like the dominant thing when you see any sort of period medieval or fantasy, but in reality, like pole arms dominated the battlefield for like thousands of years. It's just like reach is so important. That's why pikemen or I feel like I got my ass kicked by someone with a pitchfork.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of like early runs do really well with people with pitchforks because it's long and it's pointy, and that's gonna fucking work,
Well, and Jesse was using the rake for a long time, but then he believed that they nerfed it. But what actually happened was that he'd only played it for an hour, and I guess had just gotten lucky a few times, and then insisted that they had nerfed the rake. But then the Half Sword dev came into my chat, like the Half Sword Twitch account came into my chat while I was playing it, and we took the opportunity to ask them, "Did you nerf the rake?" And they were like, "What are you talking about?"
Hedgeborn is this is the AI overview, so we can trust it. Someone born into the lowest social class, specifically implying they were born in the outdoors rather than a proper home.
Okay.
Right. Okay,
Nice.
that makes sense.
Often
I love
used
it.
by Shakespeare.
Ooh,
immortal
was
sword.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, love that.
Yeah,
Yeah. No,
it's great.
I am specifically very fascinated with the language that they use because they do a really good job of. I feel like a lot of the time in, especially American, although the studio is not American, it's Georgian actually. But especially in American conceptions of what, oldie styley, anything from before, like, I don't know, 1700 or whatever. It's essentially like, they don't put a lot of effort into necessarily changing the accent of people. It's just an American going, "I smite thee," that kind of stuff. But they do a really good job of having a really interesting sort of Middle English or even older accent that I find fascinating, where it's almost like Dutch at times. It's like ragamuffin. That kind of stuff. It's fascinating to me. I'm very interested in the English language and how it's developed. So
I really want to clip out you saying ragamuffin and like be able to play that as a sound alert on your stream now. That was so good. It is surprising how relevant this conversation is to today's British Thought of the Week. So let's dip into that.
How is that possible? Tea's quite nice. What happened to Noel Edmonds? EastEnders. Bloody raining again. How do they make Scotch eggs? Did they finish Brexit or what?
British Thought of the Week.
That's right. It's time for British Thought of the Week. And today's British Thought, this feels like a big one, so I'm happy that we're finally getting to it.
Yeah.
Why do British people drive on the wrong side of the road? This one was sent in by Rikering. I want to start by just asking both of you, why do you think British people drive on the wrong side of the road?
I have absolutely no idea. I realize I know so little about sort of automotive history. I don't think I could really reliably tell you when people started driving cars. If I had to guess, I would guess that we just don't know.
Okay. I mean, it's a solid guess, even if it is ultimately from not knowing itself. Nick?
I remember hearing, and perhaps this is
Ooh.
apocryphal, that it dates to the days of people being on horseback and carriages, and that the reason that the default is on the left side is so your right side was free to extend a hand in friendship, or to be ready to joust if someone was a brigand.
Okay. So I had not heard about the hand in friendship bit. So that's a nice addendum that someone has added there. That is good. I think my job today, because we saw this in the email box. I did a quick Google. I was like, oh yeah, okay. So it's something about like you would walk on the left to bring out your sword. Your sword your sword hand would typically be your right hand. So you'd be like looking to attack. Be most equipped to attack if you were standing on the left. I was like, okay, yeah, that seems like it's probably going to be interesting enough. I tell Libby, yeah, I'll do research for this one. And it's turned out that my job today is been to go through so many articles and videos where people spew so much bullshit about this topic because there are so many myths and legends and guesses as to why people would travel on different sides of the road. And the answer, Libby, you got it right, is that's just kind of the way we always did it. And then people have a bunch of ideas and guesses that they've been sharing for a long time. And that's it. The sword hand stuff, which is why I was like, oh, this is relevant, using the sword.
Yes.
That's the one that seems to come up the most, is I've got to travel on the left to use the sword. And this is before automobiles and such, horses perhaps. But then I was thinking with jousting, don't they travel like on the right side and then move like I don't know what it's called, the spear, the jousting implement.
Lance?
The lance, yeah, that's right. They move it like across their body, right?
Oh.
No
Is that
fucking
how it
idea,
works?
mate.
I have
Nick, continue.
I have an alternate theory, and it's related to, handshake in friendship, sword hand ready. You're basically, most people's dominant hand is their right hand. And so if you're on the left side and you come up to a passerby, it's a stranger, you're not sure if they're a friend or foe, you can do a secret handshake to let them know whether or not you're into dogging.
And that is one of the truth. It's like one of the few true things I
The
did
few
find.
things we know.
Yeah, exactly. We got so much written evidence because people loved doing their little journals after
And
the
you know
dogging
what's
sessions.
crazy? You know what's crazy is that Shakespeare wrote about dogging all the time.
It was
as well. Yeah, it's like a really pivotal part of Romeo and Juliet. Wouldst thou dog with me this morning?
They give someone in a carriage dogging, like having like a little pamphlet or something that you put on a bulletin board to meet up at Vespers for dogging.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, in a clearing. Yeah. Oh God.
So the stories that people tell each other about why the UK drives on the left side, and I should say as well, obviously Americans don't drive on the right is incorrect side of the road. They drive on the right, and then I've always felt like I couldn't say obviously the left is the correct one because Americans drive on the right, which also is the right side of the road
word
as
right.
incorrect.
Right.
So I never really felt like I could argue with the fact that we were probably wrong about it. And then it
really
is also
fucked us
true
there.
that like I think most of the world does drive on the right side now. It's like 30% of the population is on the left.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
there are some big. I believe Japan drives on the left. There are some very large populous countries that have. So it's not just the UK is not a unicorn there. It's not like how the US using standard measurements and Fahrenheit. You know.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we are the weird ones, but we're not that weird.
We're not
let's
that
say.
weird. No.
We're not that weird.
But I did go to one of my new favorite places to go on the internet now, Nick, is the Guardian Notes and Queries page.
Oh yes.
Which is basically like Reddit for middle class people in England. So the question was posed: why do people in the UK drive on the left? Seth in Edinburgh said it's a Roman thing. Riders travelled on the left to keep their sword arm free. So why does everyone else drive on the right? I've heard it's a Napoleonic thing, but I can't think of any reason why this was ever an advantage. And then Jeremy Reynolds from London follows up. Seth from Edinburgh asks, why does everyone else drive on the right? They, of course, don't. Most African countries drive on the left, as do India, Australia, New Zealand, and most of Southeast Asia, and I suspect more countries than you care to imagine. Europeans and Americans are the odd ones. So there you go.
I didn't think about the third of the globe that the Brits colonized as being like, oh yeah, that would make sense. They drive on the left.
Yeah, that does make sense. And
it definitely seems like it's part of it for sure.
We
The
were
Romans
everywhere.
traveling on the left side of the road thing comes up all the time. And specifically on this Notes and Queries page, everyone was like, yeah, it's the Romans. They always were on the left side.
Okay, now that is fascinating. A sort of class divide in what people think the reason is really funny. The idea that posher people have heard it's the Romans is really funny to me. Like, it was in some sort of like private school textbook or something, and only they see it. But the one that they sent to the comprehensive was like, shut up!
No, it's obviously something to do with swords and hands in it.
I get it, but it is an interesting, like to think of it the other way, like you're saying, Charlotte, of assuming the left is the default, assuming that was what was established. Why does anyone drive on the right? Like, what would be the reason for that? Both ways seem pretty arbitrary.
And I think it is arbitrary, is the thing. Because it does seem like a lot of people would assume there must have been a default at some point. But it sort of seems like different places just sort of picked one at one point. And then over time, like reasons I think like the UK and like Japan and Australia are still on left side of the road driving is because it doesn't matter if they change because they don't have any land borders, right? So like there's this weird thing with Sweden. They, for a very long time, were driving on the left side of the road when Finland was driving on the right side, right? And for whatever reason, people in Sweden were just driving on the left, but they had cars with steering wheels on the left. Like, most of the cars were on the wrong side.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And they were really committed to just keeping it that way for a really long time.
Yeah.
Until one day, I think they're the most recent to make the change, 1967. They just had a day where they were like, we're just going to change sides now and fix that weird issue that we have. But it's usually like, if you have to travel across a border, you don't want to have to swap sides of the road. So that's where a lot of like we just need to keep it consistent and drive on the same side seems to come from.
Yeah.
What is sidewalk etiquette in the UK?
Now, I was thinking about this, Charlotte, with the tube.
All right, that's good. Yeah, I want to hear about the tube, but I did want to talk about the sidewalk etiquette because I have found after I moved from the UK to North America, I had to change the way that I was passing people on the pavement. I realized I was walking into people more regularly over here because I was trying to pass them on the left and they were trying to pass me on the right. And I had to make the mental switch to be like, okay, I'm now an American car. Even though I'm in Canada, I'm an American car. And I need to make sure that I don't bump into this person.
I'm a Chevy Silverado. And,
that's right.
to quote that wonderful Will Sennett tweet, I'm the king of the highway. And everyone will get out of my way. You're unlocking something for me, Charlotte, which is now I'm starting to wonder, have I been walking into people? Or did I, when I moved here, did I start walking, was I like just bumping into people like a blind kitten all the time? I know that the reason I was thinking of the tube is because, that's one of those places where it's very important that you stand on is it the right, Charlotte?
You stand on the right and you walk on the left. Yes, on the escalators, which I do here as well.
Yes, it's like that in DC as well. And you can always tell a fucking tourist from Kansas or something when they are standing on the left on a DC escalator and you get to go, oh God, they don't know anything about us and they're probably wearing a MAGA hat as well. And so that's interesting that it's the same, even though we do drive different.
We do drive different, yes.
We do drive different.
So some other things that people often bring up. A lot of people say that the Pope at one point directed people to travel on the left. People love to bring up how the Pope said that. The truth is that the Pope is reported as saying, people have said that the Pope said to travel on the left and on the right, and there's no evidence of either. So that's cool. But people, again, love to bring up the Pope. People also love to talk about the French Revolution and say it's Napoleon because Napoleon was left-handed and therefore sword hand on the left, so Napoleon's going to want everyone to walk on the right side, and therefore French colonies he's going to bring that over to. Again, this is just one of those things that people just keep on talking about what hand you're using to use your sword. There's no, I wrote down, there's no documentary evidence of it. It was written 12 years after Napoleon's reign. That the coachmen in Paris have established no rule by which they drive on the right or left of the road. So that's just, again, I'm sorry to just keep on bringing up stuff that is not true, but I'm like, I feel like it's my responsibility here to just sort of cut through. There's so, I guess because people just ask this question a lot, there's so many fucking videos and articles about this, and all of it is bullshit.
This is how I felt about the fucking newspaper thing, Charlotte, that we did with Grace, talking about whether whether wrapping fish and chips in newspaper made it taste weird, and B, why they stopped doing that. And it's crazy to me that I couldn't find a more convincing answer. It was a lot of people on forums saying, well, I remember when they did this and they changed this because of this. But obviously that's one example, but with the driving thing, it feels like it's recent enough that someone should have written it down, Yeah,
there's a lot of that. You mentioned the fish and chips discussion. There's a lot of that with food, actually. There's a lot of in America, the Philly cheesesteak sandwich is no one actually knows where it came from. There's 8 different places that claim to have invented it. Kind of the same thing with buffalo wings, the French dip sandwich. Yeah, it's all all these things have all these apocryphal claims for who actually came up with it, but no one actually wrote it down. Or no one, or whoever actually invented it probably had it stolen from them, and then they are not allowed to speak for. They don't speak for themselves anymore because they're dead.
Yeah, it does sort of make you think about how how unbelievably different the era in which we find ourselves living is from the entirety of the rest of human history, and that we can have an expectation of we'll know why things happen, but almost forever you didn't know why anything happened, including the sun coming up, thunder, fucking childbirth, everything was just sort of like, well, I don't know, I guess it's just like that, for forever, including, I'm sure, things that were also a result of human society. Like, why do we, what's the medieval equivalent of this? Why do we drink ale with our right hand? I don't know.
Right.
Can I ask real quick, what side of the road do you think the Romans traveled on?
Oh, fuck.
If you had to guess.
I don't know, whichever one they fucking felt like it. Because they were kind of boss ass, they were sort of Tony Soprano guys. They were just sort of doing whatever they liked, and they were cool also.
Mm-hmm.
The Romans colonized the UK. The territory is now the UK, but they also colonized. I feel like people most strongly associate Rome with contemporary Italy,
Yes.
which would be an argument. I feel like Italians drive on the right.
Yes.
Which would maybe be an argument that Romans drove on the right. I don't know. That would be the only circumstantial evidence I'd point towards.
Sure. So the correct answer is the middle. Because
Wow.
that's kind of
Of course
what you would. That's kind of what you would do if there's like not a lot of people around and there's a big road. You just go in the middle.
Yeah.
Of it. So
That's
Sure.
kind of what I was thinking about. Like, I want to know when when roads started having cars on them, consistently, because, I feel like after the invention of the car, it had to be quite a long time before it was likely that you'd start seeing another car, or that would be, let alone like traffic on the road. So it feels like a lot of this stuff was probably just sort of, I don't know, basically accidental,
I think a guy just picked at one point. And
one
was just
guy
like,
picked, yeah.
Basically, one guy picks, and maybe is used to traveling on one side or the other, and is like, we're going to do it like this now. And then that becomes law, and that's the way they do it, and that's the way that it always seems to have worked. I'm sorry that there's not a more fun, sword-based answer to this question, everybody. But what's all this then is here to deliver the hard truths.
Right.
But it is. Oh, actually, one of the things I was curious about is one better than the other,
No.
like safety-wise, and people have actually done tests on this, and again, no, it doesn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter at all.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Right. Presumably, as long as everyone knows what side of the road they're supposed to be driving on,
Exactly.
everything is fine. And that's why I think the idea of switching is so insane. The idea that they were like, all right, yeah, we'll have a day where we switch over. I mean, let me tell you where that wouldn't fucking work, and that's the United States of America. There's absolutely no way that people would get the memo, that they would do it, that they wouldn't, just drive into somebody else and be like, oi, what?
Right.
And it has weirdly been an issue in the Scottish Highlands, like in more recent years. Tourists traveling up there will apparently not know what side of the road they're supposed to drive on, and there's been like a increase in recent years of accidents because people are they just don't know what side to drive on, which is pretty fucking bad. In my head, it's Americans, but who's to say?
I was going to
really?
say, it's very kind of you to say tourists and not say American tourists, because let me tell you who fucking loves going to the Scottish Highlands, and that's Americans. They love going there and saying, I've done the whiskey tour and all that stuff.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's definitely Americans, and we also still think we think we're right when we're doing it.
Yeah.
What's the right side of the road?
I believe that. I mean, this is dark, but I believe Matthew Broderick had an incident like that where he was driving on the wrong side of the road and then committed vehicular homicide. It was in Ireland, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That makes so. I mean,
There we
here's
go.
the thing: is it scares the fuck out of me, the idea of driving on the other side of the road, because I learned how to drive here. I mean, look, yes, I did learn in the UK and fail my test twice. And my second test was so bad that the instructor referred to my reverse around a corner as, quote, diabolical. Which is not, I don't think the
Was
word
that one of
he
the
meant.
options on the sheet?
Yeah, this one has been graded D for diabolical. And then I didn't drive for years, and then I learned here. And the idea of driving in the UK scares the fuck out of me. I know my ass would be, well, like Howell was saying, when Howell came on, getting to the first roundabout and immediately being like, oh shit, I don't know which way I'm supposed to be looking. I have no idea how to do this.
The last thing because I mean, I don't even like driving in general, and I'm someone who grew up in Southern California, which is like, was kind of the template for American car culture. I hate driving. The last thing I want to do on vacation is drive in some place I'm unfamiliar. So I'll just whatever public transit solution I can use, I'll opt for that.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's annoying to think about. There are things I'd like to do in the UK that require driving. Going to Cornwall or somewhere like that and driving along the coast. I'm sure you can get the train to Truro or whatever, but what if you want to go from Truro to Lizard Point or something?
Given that I used to travel to Cornwall every 2 weeks and tried to find ways to make the train work, they are not set up for trains down there. Poor Cornwall.
No,
it's
really.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
it's not great. But anyway. Happy to have answered that question.
Yes.
Dispelled some myths, and if any listeners have any British thoughts of your own that you want to send in that we can do some research on, the email is whatsallthispost@gmail.com. It's time now to talk about our main topic. We are dipping into the world of Wimpy. Nick, are you familiar? How familiar are you with Wimpy?
I'd never heard of Wimpy the Chain until Libby told me about it. I am I had no idea it had American origins. I certainly am quite familiar with the Popeye character. I called it Popeye's character. The Popeye character of Wimpy, but the chain, that's a black box to me.
Libby, do you want to try and explain, because it is an American company originally, and it's now owned by a company in South Africa. So listeners might be like, why are you talking about this on the British podcast? So can you explain what Wimpy is and why it is important to us?
Yes, I would say that the main reason for us to talk about it is that it is the main burger chain that annoying British boomers have nostalgia for. Because I feel like it was the first big burger chain in the UK, and it was the dominant one until McDonald's started, as it were, eating its lunch in the 1980s. And people fucking loved it, I guess. It is the classic, like, American style burger place with the milkshakes and the fries and the different burgers and stuff, with some British spins on things, which we'll talk about. But in Britain and for British people, and it's a fascinating phenomenon to me because, Charlotte, we were born after Wimpy was really, after its heyday. And so there were still Wimpies around. And I remember telling my stepdad once that, we went to Wendy's or something, and he thought Wendy's was Wimpy's. And he was like, oh my God, they have Wendy's there? Because he was thinking it was Wimpy's. And I was like, oh, honey, I got a podcast for you to listen to, okay? So you can get caught up on all of this. But yeah, it was like, I guess, a big deal to the burger eating public in, let's say, 1972.
Yeah, we grew up and McDonald's was normal, So Wimpy to me was a place that showed up in service stations occasionally.
Yeah.
I can't remember ever seeing there are locations out there in like towns and stuff, but to me it was always I'm probably en route to Cornwall or something like that, and we're stopping and we need to eat something, and I'm seeing Wimpy and I'm thinking burger, fries, milkshake, hello, and then I wasn't allowed to eat it because I was a child and they thought that that's probably bad for you. And so my relationship with Wimpy is always wanting it and then never having it, and I have never had it, even though I don't think it's necessarily very good. I still have this strong desire to eat Wimpy.
That was my relationship with Wendy's for a long time, and I did love Wendy's. Wendy's has fallen off recently, but because it was like the more expensive one, it was not it was like, though that's the nicer one. We wouldn't my family wouldn't opt to go there. I would have to go on my own with my own money.
Right. We had a fascinating conversation with John Hodgman about a particularly good Wendy's in where was it? Worcester, Massachusetts. that has they got to it. They closed it.
Bummer.
I know, yeah. It's so sad to think about. Now, Charlotte, I'd be curious to hear what your burger place of choice was as a kid, because we were a Burger King family. And in fact, I have a memory that the first words I remember reading and like saying out loud to my mum and her going, "Oh my God, you can read," is Burger King. Like
Burger
specifically,
King?
Yeah, Burger King, Mummy, I want Burger King. No, I remember being in the car, possibly in my like booster seat or whatever, while she was filling up the car with petrol at the Tesco petrol station, and there was a Burger King across the road from it, and I remember saying, "Mummy, that says Burger King."
Wow.
Wow. Is there? This is a because my dumb ass had this thought. We had an Australian guest on the podcast. We had on the podcast a few times, Claudio Dawdy, our friend, and
So funny.
she would tell us that in Australia, Burger King is called Hungry Jack's.
Yes.
And my assumption was, oh, well, it's part of the Queen's Dominion, so they obviously can't legally call anything Burger King. That's why they have to change the name to Hungry Jack's. It's not the case. It's just that someone else owned Burger King in Australia. So, but is there any sort of specifically British reaction from people who are perhaps protective of the tradition of the royal family about the existence of Burger King, or does that just never come up?
Yeah, there is an asterisk after the king in Burger King in the UK, and you do have to read the bottom text that says not endorsed by the actual king.
The opposite
that's
of
how they
that
get
seal
around
that
it.
they put on the Cadbury and the Marmite and stuff that says the royal household buys this. On the Burger King, it says not affiliated with His Royal Highness King Charles. No, I don't think that's ever come up. I think that one of the most difficult questions I feel like that Americans ask me is, do British people really like the royal family? Because to me, and all the British people I know, no, they don't give a shit. They
No.
think it's funny. One thing I'll cite is an episode of Mock the Week, which is a British panel show, where Frankie Boyle, and this is on the BBC, where Frankie Boyle made a joke about the Queen saying, "I'm so old, my pussy is haunted." So that's the level of respect that you are. That is a level of respect that you are allowed to have and express in the UK. And then there are also a lot of old people who are crazy about them. But I think you can say Burger King basically, and no one gets upset.
If you may, it's also funny that because I think part of that is Americans mapping our own weird, sort of fealty to the office of the presidency onto the UK and assuming like, oh, this head of government, head of state there,
Yeah.
I forget whichever it is, must be, sort of revered in the same way. Because I don't think you could get away with making a joke about Melania Trump's pussy being haunted. I think
No.
I think you'd probably be taken off the air.
Honestly,
Well,
Yeah,
go ahead,
or-
have a go.
Or Michelle Obama on it for that matter. I don't think you can do either.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Let's see if I can thread this needle. Melania Trump's pussy is so haunted, it makes Michelle Obama's pussy look not haunted.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah,
Everyone
I
can
know.
enjoy that.
I'm really brave. We have freedom of speech here in this country, so still, maybe.
In answer to your question, Libby, yeah, I was a Burger King kid. I would get the bacon double cheeseburger. I wouldn't go to McDonald's because it had, if you got the burger at McDonald's, it had
gherkins on
green
it.
stuff on it, and I didn't want to
Yeah.
eat that. I wanted to eat just meat and cheese and bread, please.
We've talked about this. I realize this now. We've talked about how we had the exact same burger opinion and experience as a child, which is that I was excited when the bacon double cheeseburger came out. We were always a Burger King household, and I didn't like McDonald's when I went there once or twice because it had fucking gherkins on it, which is what
Yes.
we call pickles, of course.
That's right. Burger King is relevant to Wimpy as well because the company that when one of the companies at one point that bought Wimpy. This is like when Wimpy was not looking as hot compared to, say, McDonald's. They also owned Burger King. So like the initial downfall of Wimpy in the UK was just a bunch of them turning into Burger Kings, unfortunately. Because the thing about Wimpy that makes it different is that you do sit down and they do have table service there as well, which I mean simply can't compete with McDonald's and the fastness in which you're going to get that food.
It's funny that you said that about the gherkins because it's giving me a memory of we had our friend Siobhan Thompson who is from the UK on Doughboys back in the day, and they relayed that it was the same sort of situation where there was just like a pile of gherkins like in the road outside the McDonald's, because people would go out and just pick them off and throw them down in the gutter.
Oh, that's
Good
so
lord.
funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, now I'll say I'm not really a person who can pick up a pickle spear and put it in my mouth and say, yummy. But to me, pickle's almost mandatory on a burger. And my favorite type of burger, if you're fucking interested, if anybody cares, is that sort of California smash burger with the very small diced white onions raw and then pickles on it. And
Absolutely
and
delightful.
sauce.
Libby, if you ever find yourself in New York City, Hamburger America has a burger that's kind of that style, and it's so good. It's just
Ooh.
absolutely delightful. I had it for the
Hamburger
first time
America.
recently. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really good. And also, I need to just get something out of my brain because it's poisoning me, which is Wimpy's food restaurant's no longer hot.
That's the thing they say?
No, I'm thinking when Charlotte said Wimpy not so hot, I thought of Trump saying Graydon Carter's restaurant no longer hot.
I saw you smiling to yourself, and I knew you had something going on in there.
If I
got
hadn't
it.
said it, it would have corrupted me from the inside, like a cancer. So I had to say it.
I should have put that together on my own. I apologize for asking.
No, it's not my
clarification.
best
It was well
impression. Yeah.
It's all right.
Is
So
it,
go ahead.
sorry, quick question. Is it Wimpy singular or is it Wimpy's possessive?
It's Wimpy.
it's
Wimpy.
just Wimpy. There was a
And-
point where it was like Wimpy Grill and maybe Wimpy Bar as well, but these days it does still exist in the UK. It is just
Yep.
it's just Wimpy.
And now, me growing up, I was and this is a California specific, but In-N-Out Burger was my favorite. But we would also go to McDonald's, Burger King, and then Carl's Jr., Hardee's, and then Wendy's again was the fancy one. But what are the components in like a default Wimpy burger? I'm assuming it doesn't have gherkins on it.
Well, should we talk about the current Wimpy as it stands?
Let's talk about the state of the Wimpy.
Because I did share with you this image that I watched my goat every day I'm eating his review of a Wimpy burger, and I did share with you this screenshot that I took from it that I think looks horrid.
Let's have a look.
So this is what we're working with.
That looks really bad.
For the listeners, I mean, it does look like, I guess if I was fed this at school, I would be happy, right? But it is giving me school dinner,
Oh,
basically.
totally.
Yeah.
Definitely
Yes.
feels like a cafeteria burger for sure.
Yes. No,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
I would say the dominant visual feature here is these sort of squid-like tentacles of shredded lettuce snaking their way around the whole plate. It's so much shredded lettuce, and it's seemingly almost none of it on the burger.
Yeah.
It's your classic. It's your classic lettuce and tomato. I don't think onion and cheese. And then the bun is an absolutely baffling decision for me. Their buns are really weird because they have brioche buns that they use for their chicken sandwiches. But this bun, it is giving, like cheap, shitty bun you get in a pack of 6 for 20p at Tesco. It looks unpleasant. I'm going to pull up the menu, though, so that we can look at the current situation because this video is
Yeah.
Is this how it's typically served? Because it's kind of again, like you mentioned, it's like a bed skirt of lettuce. It really doesn't make sense. Like basically none of it is inside the bun, and then it's kind of this weird. It looks like an English muffin, but in the form factor of a hamburger bun.
Yeah.
okay. I'm going to show you real quick.
I won't say that this is how it always looks, by the way.
Okay.
I think maybe every day I'm eating got the squid burger, or just that's how they do it at this location. But I don't know if it's always spilling out.
Yeah, or they've improved their menu, but because current situation is that they have what looks like a much more normal burger with the quarter-pound patty, cheese slice, lettuce, onion, special sauce, and then for some reason toasted oat-topped bun, which
Is
looks.
that what that is? Okay.
Yeah, I mean this one looks all right because it looks. It does look. I mean, look, it looks a bit healthy, doesn't it? For a burger bun, it looks a bit wholesome.
Yeah, the whole wheat bun seems to be a thing that Wimpy do. And as someone who endeavors to be more healthy, I do sort of like the idea of it, but it's not given like appealing fast food burger either, you know?
God, I'm gonna get
yeah.
burger for lunch. I was
I know,
just
I'm-
looking at these.
I already decided
I'm
this morning.
100%
I was like,
eating burger for
I'm gonna get A&W after we're done.
I'm gonna go to the window,
I'm sorted,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, I was texting my buddy and Doughboys regular Evan Susser this morning. We're gonna go get Big Arch burgers for lunch. It's just like it's like
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
I knew I was gonna have burgers on the brain. These look. I can fuck with a whole wheat bun. You know,
Yeah.
Islands, which is a chain out here, which is kind of like a tiki burger bar. You can opt for a whole wheat bun, and that's actually usually what me and Natalie, my wife, will do, is because it's just it's partly what you're saying, Charlotte. It feels a little bit healthier, but also just like it has more flavor than the white bun sometimes.
Yeah, sure.
Nick, have I told you about Lewis and me going to Islands? We started going a few years ago after hikes, and it became like a sort of ritual. We haven't done it as much recently, but let me tell you what really fucking hits after you do, an 8-mile hike is one of their big fucking burgers, loads and loads of French fries, and a frosted mug of beer that is so cold that one time I got it and it actually had ice in it.
Yes, the dream.
It's so good, and I'm so sad that it seems to be falling off. One of the ones that we used to go to on the way home from hikes in the Santa Monica Mountains closed. So now it's just Glendale for us.
There was the original on Pico in West LA was a pandemic casualty, which is a bummer. I mean, there used to be more islands, but I feel like it's like receded to about half of its footprint at its peak. I hope it sticks around because it's a place I have a lot of fandom of.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, there's something about it. It really hits the spot for me. I'd take an Islands over a Chili's any day.
I actually can grab something on this note. Well, I'll be right back. 1 second.
Okay.
Oh,
This is exciting.
he's got props.
He's got
Oh.
props. Once he comes
Oh.
back, I want to talk about, the Bendy.
We have to talk about the Bendy. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I'm
can't
excited.
wait to tell
I can't wait to tell Nick about the Bendy.
about the
This
Bendy.
This was a Secret Santa gift from my buddy Steve Levy.
Oh.
It's an Islands T-shirt, and this is, I think, something that the workers would wear. So if I want to engage in some stolen valor, like an island server, I can do that. The problem is it's a
that's
medium, so I can't cram my fat ass into it. But I really appreciate the gift.
I hate that. I adore that, and I'm going to now, I think, go on Depop and see if there are any vintage Islands t-shirts that I could get.
It's so great. It's such a that's what you want in a chain restaurant is like kind of a unique experience. It's not like going to and I like Chili's, but Chili's is like TGI Fridays, is like Applebee's, like they all are kind of similar concepts. There's one Islands.
There's one Islands, and they have fucking looping surf videos on the TVs. This is so funny. It's like they've just put in like 10-hour surfing compilation on YouTube or whatever. But that's a good point about the singularity of it, and I think this is why Wimpy has fallen off, is because it was, I think, a novelty in the UK in, let's say, the 70s to have an American-style burger restaurant. And it just, I don't think it could compete when other burger restaurants showed up and started doing the same thing, but cheaper and probably better, if I had to guess.
Yeah, and I think Wimpy's thing was that they were like attempting to be like slightly more expensive and nicer, but that's a
the
difficult
table
way.
service,
Yeah, no, for sure. They have exactly one sort of unique thing about them, I would say. Like a lot of their menu looks pretty sort of normal and familiar, but we do need to talk about the Bendy, which is so the Bendy is what it is currently called. I tried to figure out when they stopped calling it the Bender, which they did do for a very long time. It seems like they were calling it the Bender all the way up until like 2018, so it's a slightly more recent change.
2018?
Yeah,
People were having to walk into Wimpy and say, "Can I have a Bender, please?"
Can I have a Bender with cheese? Can I have the big Bender?
Well,
Yeah.
we should explain, because I'm sure a lot of Americans listening are innocently thinking, what's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to leave this one up to you, Charlotte, to explain, not me.
God's thing to call a gay, in it. Thing to call a gay, or you're a bloody Bender, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, I did say to Charlotte, it's like if Wendy's had a burger called the Gaybo. It's like an insane thing to have on the menu.
Bender is a slang term, is a pejorative for a gay person, for a queer person.
That's
yes,
right.
that's correct.
Oh, okay. Because in the U.S., I only know what Bender is like. I'm going to go on a drinking binge.
Oh,
which is
no.
interesting.
No, it's far worse in the UK, which is why it's
Yeah.
surprising that this menu item was called a bender for so long over there.
Wow.
Can just one of you want to try and describe what this is to the
Well,
Nick,
listeners?
go ahead.
What I think I'm seeing is it looks like a bed of some sort of chopped, perhaps grilled onion. On top of that, it looks like a hot dog or some sort of sausage that has been carved into sections, but still connected, and then kind of wrapped up, kind of like a roly-poly, and then with a slice of some sort of cheese. I'm assuming like a cheddar cheese on top of it, perhaps an American style cheese.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah, and it is apparently just sort of like it tastes just like a hot dog as well. They call it a frankfurter on the menu, but yeah, it's been like segmented so that they can coil it up. One of the things that I was really, because I've never tried this, I do want to try it, even though I'm not like, it doesn't look super appetizing to me. I guess it's just a different way of having a hot dog, so it's probably just fine, right?
I would 100% fuck with this. I mean, like there's a chain out here called Wiener Schnitzel that has their version of a Polish sandwich, which is basically sliced hot dog on, I believe, rye, and I like that. So like I bet I would probably like this.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing I was really curious about is what's going on in the center of the bendy, right? Because I was wondering, is the sausage sort of like coiled up into the center, so it's sort of like there's sausage all the way to the middle, or do we have like a ring and it's almost like a bagel situation where you get to the middle and there's not really anything there?
Yeah, you're getting only bun. Like it's like it's kind of like the reverse of what happens with a burger oftentimes, where on the edges you're getting mostly bun and in the center it's the meatiest. Here you have this void.
Yeah.
I hope it's got more meat, but I have a feeling with fast food places, you know, the margins they try to operate on, it's probably, well, we can get away with having the middle be empty, so it's going to be empty.
It's a baffling decision to me. I don't know why this is good or better than a hot dog that doesn't have little slices cut out of it. I simply don't get it.
I guess if you just don't want to buy hot dog buns, right?
Yeah, okay.
And you're just trying to make the best out of what you have. That seems like something that would sort of like come from just, I don't know, just ancient Wimpy's tradition.
Here's the thing: is people don't know. Some people think it was to do with the Romans. The Romans like slicing their bendies,
right?
But no one really knows. No, it seems crazy to me to be like, no, I'm gonna have to like, because presumably this is all sort of mass-produced stuff. Presumably that means you have to get a new machine that makes these bendies, that slices them, or fucking twist them, or whatever it is that they do to the hot dog to turn it into this. Seems a lot easier to just buy hot dog buns,
Yeah,
Sure.
but we have a shot of the bender and a bun with cheese.
Yeah.
Why does it look like that?
That looks
so
awful.
I did find a video where someone did lift the top off of the
Wait.
bender to show what's going on inside.
It doesn't connect at the back. It's like a horseshoe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it is basically horseshoe shaped. It is. I mean, it is ultimately just a sausage.
sucks.
It's not like a ring or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then you do have a big hole in the middle, and that part of it does look quite unappetizing. Just sort of like a pool of just ketchup and onions and cheese. It doesn't seem good. And then this particular sausage, for whatever reason, looks like it's been in the swimming pool a little bit too long. I would say, yeah.
This sandwich looks like both literal and figurative dog shit. Like I'm sure
That's right.
I would eat this and fucking, because once you get to that reservoir of ketchup in the middle, and it is big. It's not like a little, like a tight little donut hole or something. That is a vast cavern. That is a Grand Canyon of ketchup and raw onion that you're eating in the middle. Like that's not going to be fun, and especially with that low quality bun being so dominant. And then the cheese is like
Unmelted.
yeah, it's unmelted. This is, if this is how it comes, like versus how it's depicted, then I bet this sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so funny to me that this place. I watched a couple of food reviewer guys eating at this place and reviewing it, and the one that really stuck with me is this guy Gary Eats that we've watched before on What's All This Then Finest. He's a boomer. He looks to be boomer or perhaps old Gen X. And he couldn't stop saying, first of all, is this the best burger I've ever had? No, obviously it's not. No, obviously it's not the best burger I've ever had. He also couldn't stop sort of like, I mean, you could just see the kind of like dewy-eyed nostalgia while he was sitting there, and they were playing, you know, like 70s music on the radio, and it's just so clear that the only way you could enjoy this is if it's a place that you went when you were 6 in 1976.
100%.
Yeah, and you know, obviously it's doing a little bit of that, like, you know, like retro thing that places do, like 50s diners here where they kind of really, you know, ham it up.
Right.
It's doing a little bit of that, but mostly I think it's just being mostly the same as it was in the 70s, and that's what they want, and they don't care that means it's shit.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like, it sounds like my relationship with a somewhat regional chain out here, Jack in the Box, which is shit. It's fucking bad. But I have so much nostalgia for the shitty tacos they make, the completely inauthentic, poor quality tacos, because I used to get those as a child, and so I'll still purchase 2 for 99 cents on occasion.
Oh yeah, to be clear, I'm sure if someone gave me the pink iced bun that I would get with my mum from the bakery in Banbury for, you know, whatever it was then, probably 20p, and now it's probably like £5, isn't it? If someone handed me that, I'm sure I would be delighted. But I think you have to be aware of what's happening when you do something like that, and not say like, yeah, this place is actually really good. This is a good place to go because, well, doesn't it remind you of when you were a kid? You know, you kind of have to be. Look, nostalgia is a dangerous drug, and not even once.
It does seem as though that is basically all that Wimpy is relying on. And I'm realizing now, given that my nostalgia for Wimpy is wholly I want to eat it and I'm not allowed to, that I should probably never try it. Because I feel like that feeling of, I wish I could have a Wimpy right now, is probably so much nicer than the experience of actually eating the bender.
Quite true.
I do also want to make sure that we haven't skipped the mascot of Wimpy, because I think,
my friend,
if there is anything that Wimpy is doing right, it is Mr. Wimpy. I'm gonna ask Nick if you can try and describe Mr. Wimpy to our listeners.
Look at this guy. Do y'all have Ziggy in the UK?
No, I think Ziggy. I probably know of him from Simpsons, but
okay, Ziggy is like a
he looks like Ziggy, yeah.
Yeah, a squat little incel who has a one-panel comic strip about all the humiliations he endures. But he kind of has that sort of body that's kind of shaped like a gumdrop, like a Hershey's Kiss. He's very, very bottom-heavy. He's got just pale white British skin, and then he's got a little wimpy, like a fancy. One of those fancy like uniforms that it feels like generals wear with too many medals. That's kind of like I guess that's supposed to be kind of a Union Jack on it. Maybe I don't know what exactly that insignia is. And then he's got red shoes and then a bright red wimpy hat that has it's like a broad brimmed. How would you like a Mad Hatter hat basically?
So
with little clovers on it. Are those clovers?
So this is interesting, Nick, because you're not British, you haven't noticed the similarities with this guy, a beefeater.
Yes, so
he's a beefeater.
It's such a good when it clicked for me finally. I was like, oh, you know what? That is actually kind of fucking great. Is that he is a beefeater, which are those are the guards in the Tower of London.
Yes.
So yeah, in pretty much in the same style, but Mr. Wimpy, instead of having just sort of regular medals, he has little medals that look like hamburgers as well.
First of all, look how cunty this guy is. This guy is absolutely serving. It's crazy. The burger medals are a wonderful touch.
We got to bring back the ruff. That's what I think.
Yeah.
Yes,
maybe
we've got to. Okay, I'll start campaigning. We'll find a way in. To Libby's mind. I'll just one day wearing a ruff and just sort of see what happens.
The ruff is a good look. I see. So I'm only familiar with the big tall like Q-tip hats. I don't think I've seen these hats before.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's a different kind of guard, right?
That's a different guard.
guard. Yeah.
That
Okay.
is a guy who's called a yeoman of the guard, I think, which is a different guard.
Oh, see, because I always thought those guys were beef eaters, but no, this is it. Now I know.
Look at this
yes,
twat.
indeed.
Look
now
at
you know.
Wimpy.
I wanted to show you a picture as well because there are lots of costumes. There are some really worn down Mr. Wimpy costumes too. But a little image here, a historical image of Mr. Wimpy outside of a mega bowl.
The last
Wearing-
thing.
Wearing
Sorry.
gloves, I should say. A lot of the pictures of him in costume just have just normal, just human hands poking
Oh,
out, and
no.
it looks very unnerving.
Oh,
it's
that's
really
horrible.
bad. Yeah.
Oh, being touched by the human hands of Mr. Wimpy is
That's
a horrible
upsetting.
thought. Yeah. No, he's really looking beef eatery here. I do want to make sure we have time just before we rate Wimpy, which we have basically no way to do. To look at this old ad from 1983 because I think it's very funny and silly.
Yes. Let's take a look.
All right, well let's get my recommended things out of the way because we don't need to see that.
Yeah, we've seen enough Jordan Peterson.
Oh,
There's countryside goodness in Wimpy's new
The wheatmeal bun.
the wheatmeal bun.
They love to talk about that.
It tops the delicious quarter pounder.
Wimpy is the home of the hamburger with the greatest burgers under the bun. We've got the greatest burgers under.
Okay, Nick. So what do you
That
think
rips.
about greatest burgers under the bun as a slogan?
I think it's delightful. I think
Yeah.
it's great.
You think so? I was just
Yeah.
thinking, the burger is good once you get past the bun.
Right.
That's
I
so
just I like the wordplay of under the sun, and then also
Yeah.
me piecing together. Oh, the burger patty is under the bun to some
Right.
degree. Like it's
That's
between
right.
two bun halves, but it's
Right,
also
right,
under
right,
the
right,
bun.
right,
One could
right.
argue. I think that's fun. The bun never sets on the Wimpy Empire. Just an alt,
Ooh.
but you know.
Once you figured out bun sun, you can
Bun
do
sun, yeah.
you can do
Mhm.
so
You can go
many
nuts.
things. Yeah.
Yes.
I do feel like that was good at getting across what it must have been like to live in 1983, which is quite awful.
Yeah.
Can you imagine you turn on the TV and all the ads are like that, and they've got a little fucking song, and they're telling you it's countryside goodness in every bun.
Yeah.
Margaret,
Margaret Thatcher just closed her coal mine.
you're being
baby's
sent
crying.
to war in the Falklands, I guess.
All right.
yeah, crazy.
As Libby alluded to, I mean, I've never eaten Wimpy. Libby's not eaten it, at least I don't think in a long time. Have you ever eaten it, actually? I don't think we really hit that.
I'm pretty sure if I have, I don't remember it.
Okay. And Nick loves it and has it every day, of course.
Yeah, I love it.
We've also established.
Wimpy lifer.
So we're really, listen, when I get back to the UK, it will be on my list of things to do, is to hear
Yeah.
Wimpy, just to know. Got to do it for the pod, but we've still got to
I
rank it all the
guess.
same on our British supermarket themed tier list with Waitrose as S tier, Marks and Spencer's as A, B is Sainsbury's, C is Tesco, D is Morrison's, E is Asda, and F is Iceland. Libby, do you want to start?
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm tempted to rate it quite low simply because based on the YouTube videos I watched, it looks shit, the chips look bad. And also, as a sort of statement against boomer nostalgia for things that are bad, and also as a privileged resident of Southern California, aka Burgerland, aka Hamburger America, aka place that invented good burgers. I have to say, I find it awful. So I'm gonna go ahead and say a sort of provisional Asda. However, I too will pledge to try a Wimpy if I can get to a place that has a Wimpy next time I go to the United Kingdom.
Okay.
And maybe it'll go up, and maybe it'll go all the way down to Iceland. Who knows?
Will it be the best burger you've ever had? Absolutely not. But
Abso-
does it put a smile on
absolutely
your
not.
face? I watched that video too. It was fun. I think I'm gonna go. I think because I like Mr. Wimpy, and I also like the fact that Mr. Wimpy had his own video game as
He
well.
did. We didn't
Wait,
even
he
talk
did?
about that. Yes, it was
Yes.
made by Ocean, which I
Oh
believe
my
made
God.
a ton of licensed games, and it looks.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks just like shit. It's a clone, I think, of another burger-based Burger Time. I want to say.
That's right.
Okay, yeah.
I also saw it released on the BBC Micro. So
What the hell is the BBC Micro?
I know,
Charlotte?
I know. We'll have to get into that at some point. It was also on the ZX Spectrum Commodore 64, so it's one of those eras. But yeah,
The BBC
I
had
just
its own console.
The BBC had its own fucking console. Oh
I think
my
they had their
God.
own
That's
computer.
wild.
I think this was like pre-console. Maybe you weren't calling it console at that point.
Okay,
but
yeah. It
They
does
were in
look,
the
It
yeah.
does just look like a very big keyboard.
But yeah, I think I'm going Morrison's. I'm still like, based on what I've picked up, it seems mostly bad. But I think there is a part of me that is still like, I like that they're still doing things the bad, wrong way. You know, I know that's all that they have to really hold on to.
Yeah.
When it comes to needing there to be nostalgia in their customers in order to have them enjoy the experience.
Sure.
But I don't completely hate them for that. But it just looks kind of bad anyway. Nick, where would you like to rank Wimpy? Also, the name is good.
The name is great. I've been refraining from doing any sort of Googling here while we do the episode because I just want to I want to hear your explanation of what Wimpy is. But I did look up the menu for the purposes of coming to some sort of verdict. And there are a few things we didn't touch on. We talked about the Bender/Bendy. We didn't touch on the Big and Mighty, which is the Big and Mighty is it's a burger hybrid with a Bendy. So it's got a burger patty, some back bacon, a cheese slice, and then two onion rings, and then a Bendy on top of it. That sounds disgusting, but like in a tasty way. Like I would want to try that, and I bet it'd be like, oh god, this is fucking giving me a stomach ache, but I kind of love it. So that one I'm into. They have a Hot and Loaded, which is like a spicy chicken sandwich, which has jalapenos on it, and I love spicy food. I'm a bit of a heat seeker. And then they have this, which sounds pretty. I feel like this would be bad, but it's the Shanty, which is breaded pollock with a hash brown and jalapenos on it, as well as a cheese slice. So it's kind of like a fillet of fish, but with just like a little bit extra. It seems overstuffed, but again, I would try that one as well.
It's interesting.
As far as plates go, they have the griddle platter, which is just like you get the Bendy, you get a beef patty, you get an egg on top of it, a side of mushrooms, and corn, like a little corn cob.
A corn cob?
You get a little mini corn cob, yeah.
What the
so
fuck?
It's very strange. It's like I bet that looks bad, but I like that they offer it. And they do also have a loaded
get a
potato.
corn cob. What the absolute fuck? I didn't even notice that.
Okay,
Yeah,
so they're
and you
doing a
also-
bunch of stuff that's different. I
trying to-
believe our game is menu related, which is why I was kind of
got
holding
it.
off getting too deep
I
into this
apologize.
stuff.
No,
No,
don't worry.
you're all good.
Charlotte, they've got a bloody jacket potato. You can get a bloody
They do
jacket
have a jacket
potato.
potato.
You get a
Yeah.
jacket potato at Wimpy.
With beans and it says your choice of one topping, but I'd like to know what the toppings are. Add-ons.
I saw a pic that had beans and tuna as options.
Yeah,
So it seems
okay.
like you can
There
get
you
it.
go.
I think that's actually coleslaw.
Oh, it's coleslaw. Okay.
Yes, but quite horrible. It's a very extensive menu.
Yeah, I like that they're trying things. I have some curiosity about this place.
Yeah.
So I too am gonna rank it at Morrison's. Pretty shit. Like it looks bad, but I still want to try it. Whereas I think below Morrison's, I'm like, I don't even want to put this in my mouth.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. That makes sense. Well, let's do the game since we're talking about it. And did I just realize that there was a bunch of extra stuff on the menu that I didn't scroll down to? Yes, but it doesn't matter. We're just
That's completely fine, Libby.
yeah, because no one would have even known if I hadn't said that.
Mm-hmm.
So on Doughboys, you guys do an original format called "A Single Item Must Be Banished."
That's right.
So we're going to do our version of that, which is going to be one of these Whatsits. Jog on, mate.
You got a little Mr. Wimpy there in your deck as well. I mean, that's making
Yeah.
me happy,
I
obviously.
love that Mr. Wimpy is saying that in a word bubble.
He is. That's
mhm.
right. All right. So let's start with the beef. We have a double original quarter pounder with cheese, except they call it quarter pounder cheese, which I find appalling. The big and mighty, as previously mentioned, the hot and loaded, and the triple quarter pounder bacon and cheese. And just to explain what's on all of those. The big and mighty, as you said, is quarter pound patty, griddled back bacon, which is the British type of bacon that's worse. Cheese slice, pork bendy frankfurter, 2 battered onion rings, wimpy ketchup. The triple quarter pound of bacon and cheese is pretty self-explanatory. Hot and loaded is a quarter pound patty and 2 breaded chicken fillet strips, cheese, jalapenos, etc. So quite a lot going on a lot of these.
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte, you want to start? Which one you'd banish? I mean,
Which one I would banish?
Which one would jog on?
Which one is going to jog on?
Yeah.
I mean, I am a single patty burger enjoyer. I'm looking at, I'm looking at the double original, and I'm thinking, well, it's the smallest of all of them, so I want to keep that. The big and mighty, I think, because it's got the bendy in it, that feels like you can't get rid of that because that's sort of like one of their things. I think at least, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's super inventive to just put some chicken also in the burger ultimately. So I think I'm getting rid of the triple quarter pound of bacon and cheese because that's just way too much meat for me personally, and I don't think like it's doing anything particularly interesting.
Nick, do you ever do a triple burger?
I've never had success with a triple burger. It's always too much. It's always one extra patty. I feel like a double burger is usually the ideal for me.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of a big eater. And I would say that the triple one's going to be just overloaded. And also it just seems kind of like it's a bunch of the same thing. Whereas the big and mighty, they're trying something. The hot and loaded, I feel like you never see chicken and a burger patty. I missed the burger patty when I was perusing it myself on the same between the same bun. So like, I think the triple quarter pounder's got to jog on.
Thank you.
Okay,
yes,
nice.
Yes. I think that's right. I think that's the move. All right, no beef. We've got the shanty, which is breaded pollock, cheese slice, hash brown, jalapenos, special sauce, blah blah blah. Bendy and cheese, which is just your simple, as we talked about, bendy and cheese and onions. We got the spicy bean and slaw, which is described as a beans and spices patty with cheese slice, habanero slaw, lettuce, red onion, oat top, brown bun, and the crispy chicken, which is breaded chicken fillet, lettuce, tomato, red onion, your choice of sauce.
Okay.
Nick, you want to go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this one's, again, just whatever one seems the most boring is just going to jog on. And for me, that's the crispy chicken. Like the shanty having both a hash brown and a pollock, a breaded pollock is like I want to see if that works together with the jalapenos and the cheese sauce.
Sure.
The bendy and cheese I got to try for the novelty. I guess if that's no beef, then it must be like a pork link or a chicken link or something like that. But I just got to try it for the novelty. It'll probably be bad. I'd probably enjoy the crispy chicken more, but I'm more interested in that one. And the spicy bean and slaw, hearing that the slaw is spicy, I'm like, okay,
I know.
Let's give this a go.
Yeah, I'm sort of surprised by that too. One thing I did find was that someone posted a Wimpy menu from I don't remember what it was, 1978 or some shit on Facebook, and it went crazy with the boomer crowd, and they have had the shanty on their menu since a bendy was 13p or whatever. So it's a long-standing Wimpy item. The reason I thought crispy chicken had any chance here is it's sort of the safe option because each of the other three could be terrible in ways that Americans can't begin to anticipate,
Right. I mean, for me personally, I was vegetarian for a long time, and having to deal with eating the bean-based patty, and then finally getting the Beyond and Impossible stuff, yep. I'm like, I'd never ever want to go back to a spicy bean patty. And I don't like coleslaw. This is a very easy pick for me. Crispy chicken, boring, but also of these, if I'm, I want to try the bendy and cheese, but if it's my second time going into Wimpy and I just need to eat something, it's going to be the crispy chicken, so I can't get rid of that. I'm getting rid of the spicy bean and slaw.
Is the bean patty, is it breaded? It kind of looks like it, or is that just
the example
of it?
Yeah,
so that might be a little dry.
Yeah,
could be a dry guy.
Look, I'll stand a veggie burger every now and then. I've had some good ones, and sometimes it's what I want, and not a beefed burger. But I do think this one would be shit.
No, it looks awful. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Breakfast.
But to
Oh, sorry.
Libby's point about but to Libby's point about playing it safe, like I'm at Wimpy, I know safety's not guaranteed. Like I'm just gonna go for it. I'm not worried about that. It's like riding like a carnival tilt-a-whirl. It's like I know there's like a 40% chance I will be killed, but that's part of the that's part of the deal you're making.
And you're trying to figure out ways to get that up to 100.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right. We have breakfast. We got the Big Brekkie, which is 2 breakfast sausages. And I have to say, those ones look quite shit. Griddled back bacon, 2 fried eggs, 2 hash browns, mushrooms, Heinz baked beans, tomato, and 2 toast. And I did find it interesting that this is 1,351 calories, which is quite a lot.
That's quite a lot.
Yeah. Sausage, egg, and hash brown muffin, which is interesting to have the hash brown in the muffin, sort of stunting on McDonald's a bit there. The toasted tea cake, which is just a toasted tea cake, which I guess I would say is sort of like a hot cross bun, kind of a spiced fruit bread roll.
It looks
with
almost
butter?
like it could be like a raisin and cinnamon bagel without the hole in it.
Without
Got it.
the hole.
Right.
And then all-day breakfast, which I found interesting because it is bacon, pork bendy, frankfurter, egg, Heinz baked beans, tomato, and then chips.
Yeah, the way they put their little tomato on top of the bendy it's really off-putting to me.
I
know
hate it.
I know that that's like how they've always done it. And
It's
I
sort
guess
of like
this is their thing, but
It's censoring the hole.
yeah,
Right.
it is. It's like when you put a sticker on your dog's asshole, and you're just like, who are you fooling with this?
Yeah, exactly. We know what's under there.
I have been like, if I'm gonna get a fast food breakfast, I am doing a sausage, egg, English muffin, right? And I usually get a hash brown with it. And I did try recently putting the hash brown inside of it, and it is worse, I think.
Oh,
I think it's sort of like you lose some of the crispiness of
Well,
the hash brown kind of quickly. So I am less. It seems like it would be entirely my shit because I do love a hash brown. But I have stopped doing it. But I think Nick, you should pick first what you're getting rid of.
Thank you so much. So here's the thing, like that's interesting to hear that the sandwich with the hash brown in it, it texturally doesn't work as well as having it on its own. Because it's making me think of sometimes you get a quality breakfast burrito and it's got some hash browns inside the tortilla, or maybe
That
some
does
tots
work.
in the tortilla for texture. That does work.
Yeah.
But I guess I would still try this one just because that's the closest to like a normal fast food breakfast. I think the all-day breakfast has to jog on, because that just feels like a lazy substitute for the Big Brekkie, right? It's just like well, it's after whatever the cutoff is, 10:30 a.m. So we don't want to put hash browns in the deep fryer anymore, and so you're gonna get chips instead. The Big Brekkie feels like it's got more novelty to me.
lovely chips.
I do think that if Wimpy got rid of the all-day breakfast, they would lose like half of their customers.
Wow.
My gut says that there are some people who are just so attached to that bendy with the little tomato on top, because why else would it exist unless people are still like lining up to buy it, And I think similarly to the triple burger, I'm never going to get the Big Brekkie. It's just too much food for me. So
It's a lot.
I think I'm getting rid of the Big Brekkie,
You are mental.
I'm crazy.
You're fucking mental. You're getting rid of the full
crazy.
English.
I'm getting rid of the
What?
Big Brekkie. There's
Bloody-
other places that are going to do that Big Brekkie better. All right?
Woke nonsense.
Nowhere is doing the bender like Wimpy. The one thing you
I'm
can say about
shocked.
Wimpy is it is woke now because it is the bendy, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I am shocked that neither of you got rid of the toasted tea cake, because I thought this picture made it look like the most pathetic little piece of shit. Even
It
though
is-
I bet it's
yeah.
fine.
No, it is pathetic, but that's something I would happily eat. It seems like a weird thing to get at Wimpy, but I don't think it needs to go,
It looks wretched, but I want to try it. And also, like, I don't think I've eaten many tea cakes in my life, so I'm like, oh, there's a novelty to it for me. To me, just the all day breakfast and the Big Brekkie feel redundant, so that's why one must jog on.
Nick, next time you do any sort of Easter themed Doughboys episode, let me know. I will make you some hot cross buns, because those
Wow.
are fucking good. And I make a fucking mean hot cross bun. I have to admit. All right, last one. The dessert. We got the waffle stack and ice cream, which is two warm Belgian waffles, soft ice cream, and loaded with toppings of your choice. We got the churro whirl sundae, which is warm, crispy churro pieces, soft ice cream drizzled with chocolate sauce. And then we've got the Wimpy whirl ice cream sundae, which is classic soft ice cream loaded with two toppings of your choice. It's funny to say loaded, and if it's two toppings. And then the brown derby, which is, I didn't write down the description for this one. It appears to be a donut with ice cream and chocolate sauce on top.
Yeah. I think they would, like, the brown derby is maybe one of their old items as well,
It is,
right?
yes. That was also on the ancient menu.
But I do want to get rid of it, personally. Something about ice cream. I mean, I've never had ice cream on a donut, but it is really off-putting to me in a way that I cannot really express.
Huh. Guess I need to start thinking of other podcast ideas too.
Yep.
These all look bad.
Yes.
If I'm eating any of these, there's going to be I'm going to make a brown derby of my own in the afternoon. But I think I'm going to say the Wimpy Whirl ice cream sundae must jog on, because it looks like these have marshmallows. They look like really shitty marshmallows, like artificially dyed pink.
Yeah.
RFK would ban these marshmallows, and then the I don't know, is that what's kind of it's kind of a strawberry compote, kind of Peter North over the top of it. It just looks. I'm just like the other ones look more interesting to me. That one seems kind of inert and like it might taste the most sciencey.
Yeah. That strawberry compote looks like Prince Charles hasn't been doing his job. I'll say that much.
Truly vile.
Nasty stuff.
Sorry.
I wanted to include the Wimpy Whirl ice cream sundae in part because it is a replacement for something they used to have called the Knickerbocker Glory. Do you know about a Knickerbocker Glory?
No.
Charlotte?
I mean, to me, a Knickerbocker Glory is normal. So, and I sort of assumed that it was also normal around the world. I'm now processing the fact that it does have knicker in it, and now I'm thinking, okay, yeah, that's just one of the strange British things. I hadn't marked that one yet in my head as, oh yeah, obviously that's weird.
Yeah. It's essentially like a British ice cream sundae, kind of an ice cream version of an Eton mess. Anyway, apparently people feel very strongly about how they got rid of the Knickerbocker Glory at Wimpy, and they should bring it back. Look, to me, I'm not playing this game, but to me, obviously I get rid of that one, not the brown derby, because donut is one of the best foods, even if it's got ice cream on top. Churros, also one of the best foods on the planet, and waffle, probably pretty fucking good. So getting rid of the nasty red sauce ice cream. Sure.
Yeah, getting rid of the Wimpy Whirl is the logical correct choice, but I can't deny my emotions here when it comes to the brown derby. So,
and I'd never ask you to. And that's
Thank
it.
you.
Thanks so much, Nick.
Oh my God.
It looks like, it looks like Wimpy says he's going to kill you. What the hell?
Oh no.
Boy, that is, I mean, I believe it too. He's got a big half sword style pitchfork.
Exactly, yeah.
To impale me.
That's
So.
He's going to call you a ragamuffin as well.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the podcast again, Nick. What a pleasure. Would you like to promote yourself?
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. This is such a delight. Like I said, I'm a listener, I'm a subscriber, so love
Thank
what
you,
y'all
Nick.
are doing.
Thank you.
And if there's anyone listening to this podcast because they listen to Doughboys or Get Played and wanted to hear me guest on something and are not into not already checking out What's All This, then give it a subscribe, because it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of joy every week. I would say, yeah, I mean, I got podcasts, Doughboys, Get Played. You know where you get podcasts. One's about chain restaurants, one's about video games.
So true.
Lovely.
True. Yeah, this is gonna come out.
And y'all came on an episode we talked about Pret a Mange. That
did.
came out last year. That was a lot of fun.
We did do that.
Yes,
That was
we did.
Such,
Yes.
Such fun.
Yes, that's
Um,
right. And I might be on an episode of Doughboys quite soon also.
Ooh.
Tease there.
And I'm happy to find out that I'm too scary and popular to be asked to come back on. I think
that's right. Yeah.
that's what I'm piecing together right
that's
now.
right. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
that's a good place to be. Thank you so much, Nick. That was very kind. If you want to join us over on the Patreon, we're at patreon.com/what's all this then for bonus episodes every Thursday. Maybe even the occasional live stream over there as well. We're also What's All This Pod on Blue Sky and Instagram. And if you want to send us an email, that's whatsallthispost@gmail.com. This has been the Wimpy episode. Bye-bye, everybody.
Look, it wasn't the best episode we ever recorded, but it still made you happy, didn't it?
Put a smile on my face.
Put a smile on my face.
What's all this then? What's all this then? What's Mr. B? What's a cup of tea? What's mushy pea? What's the biggie thing? What's all this then?